Riverdale Hotel is well known as one of the most elegant hotels in all of New York. That's also where a young woman named Lisa works. An elderly man applied as a janitor in the hotel, and this old man looked truly pitiful because of his grimy appearance. When the old man was hired, some of the staff, including the managers, treated him harshly. The only person who showed compassion toward that old man was none other than Lisa. A month went by. The old man disappeared. He left on his own without even taking his wages. But what they didn't know was that the old man they mistreated was actually the owner of the very hotel they were working at. He was only pretending in order to find out which of his staff were doing bad things at the hotel. So now what will happen to those arrogant staff members and managers? Will the old man fire them? And what about the young woman, given that she was the only one who was kind to him? Let's all find out in this exciting story. Lisa was extremely nervous because she only had a few minutes left before she'd be late for work. Traffic was so heavy on the interstate today that the bumpers of all the cars were practically pressed together. Lisa lived in Brooklyn, but her job was in Queens. Even though she wanted to arrive early, there was nothing she could do. No matter which road she took, traffic was still heavy. She also couldn't rely on the subway or the train because the lines there were as long as an army of ants. If she tried her luck there, her co-workers would probably be heading home by the time she arrived. "Sir, isn't there another route we could take, one that's hopefully not so congested?" Lisa asked the cab driver, who kept stealing glances at her thighs. "If there was, we'd already be driving there. Relax, miss. There's nothing we can do. It's really traffic," the driver replied. Lisa just placed her bag over her thighs. She was already irritated because the driver seemed like a pervert whenever he looked at her. If there were another cab she could hail, she would have gotten out. But cabs were tough to find, and if she did get one, the fare would be sky high. She decided to endure this driver and distracted herself by watching random videos on her phone. After almost half an hour, she noticed that they had barely moved, so even though her destination was still quite far, she got out of the taxi. She no longer cared if she wasted her fare. Her job was more important to her, and she was now very, very late. Lisa ran down the sidewalk, carrying her high heels in her hands, and enduring the heat of the pavement. She was dripping with sweat, but she didn't stop running. Eventually, she passed a stretch where traffic wasn't so heavy, but there were no available cabs. "Ugh, Lisa, this is so frustrating. Traffic's eased up, but there are no cabs. Great," she grumbled like a child throwing a tantrum on the sidewalk. Just then, a black car stopped in front of her. The window rolled down, revealing their head manager, Alvin. His strikingly handsome face almost blinded her. Lisa couldn't deny that he really did look like a celebrity. In fact, she was one of the women who had a crush on Alvin, but unlike the more flirtatious women, she kept her admiration to herself. She knew it was unlikely he'd like her back. "Get in," he said. "Huh? Me? There's nobody else here," Alvin teased with a laugh. "Oh, no one else. Right," Lisa replied. "Then get in. It's going to be tough to find a ride right now. There was an accident ahead, so all the buses and cabs have switched routes," Alvin explained. Lisa gathered her courage. There was really nothing wrong with accepting his offer, so she jumped at the chance. "Thank you so much, sir. I'm really late because of the traffic. Ugh, it feels like every day is torture for us commuters," Lisa said the moment she was inside the car. "Well, what else do you expect from the way traffic is managed around here? It's been a problem for so long, but these politicians focus on everything else instead," Alvin said. Alvin was quite chatty, and Lisa was also talkative, so she didn't feel awkward at all. Even though they were far apart in rank, he treated her like a friend. Alvin was genuinely kind and cheerful, qualities that made all the women in the hotel admire him even more. "Don't worry, I'll talk to the managers. I'll just say I had you run some errands, which is why you were late, Alvin offered. Sir, what if they think something else? Lisa asked, worried. Don't worry, I'll handle it. Besides, out of all the staff, you're the only one I get to chat with. Remember our first conversation during your interview? You were the friendliest applicant, so we hit it off right away. We may not be close, but I think of you like a friend, Alvin said, smiling as he pulled away from the curb. You're really too nice, sir. Sometimes you do have to show a bit of a mean streak, because if you're too nice, people might take advantage of you, Lisa replied. You have a point, but let them do as they will. As for us, we'll always treat people kindly, because you never know, the person in front of you might be the one who truly needs that kindness, Alvin said. Lisa simply smiled at his words. A few moments later, they arrived at the hotel. She assumed Alvin would just let her out and go on his way, but he accompanied her inside. Lisa felt even more self-conscious because all the employees and guests they passed by were staring at them. When they got to the staff room, their co-workers were there, including their terror of a manager, Jim, who was also quite the pervert. Jim was with the other junior managers. Oh, at least you remembered to come in, Jim said sarcastically to Lisa when he saw her at the door. Sorry, Sir Jim. Actually, I had Lisa come with me earlier, Alvin explained. I saw her waiting for a ride, and I needed someone to help me drop off some stuff at my condo, so I asked for her help. Jim had no objections. He believed Alvin right away, since Alvin was the highest-ranking manager there. That so, sir? Jim asked with a grin. Well, a lot of guests are checking in today, because there's an event at a nearby stadium, so we'll all be busy. Good luck, Alvin said, then left. Lisa remained in the doorway, still unable to move. Jim stared meaningfully at her, then walked up and sniffed her hair. I'll cut you some slack today because that was Sir Alvin who spoke up for you. But if you're ever late again, you're fired. Don't worry. There's a way for you to keep your job, and you know what that is, he whispered. Jim gave her a lecherous look that made Lisa shudder. She looked away and hurried to her locker. After Jim left, another co-worker approached Lisa. It was Jessie, also a housekeeper, who was jealous of Lisa, even though Lisa had done nothing wrong. Look at this girl acting all innocent, Jessie sneered. She's flirting around, isn't she? Huh? What are you talking about? Lisa asked, laughing. Don't pretend. You think I don't notice you flirting with Sir Alvin whenever he's around? It's obvious from the way you look at him, Jessie accused. Jessie, come on. Anyone would smile if the guy's that handsome. That's all it is. I'm not like other women who blatantly flirt, Lisa snapped. Deny it all you want. I can smell it on you, Lisa. The act's coming from inside, so you're flirty too, Jessie retorted. Lisa didn't appreciate what Jessie was saying. For the first time, she was about to respond in kind to Jessie's nasty attitude. What's your problem if I'm flirty or not? Lisa asked sarcastically. Jessie frowned and turned around as if ready to leave the room. What did you say? Jessie demanded. I'm asking you, yes or no? Lisa went on. Seeing that the two were about to fight, their other co-worker, Trina, who was usually quiet, stepped between them. Come on, enough of that. Don't fight. We've got a lot of guests right now, Trina reminded them. They calmed down and a few moments later turned their attention back to work. As expected, waves of people showed up at the Riverdale Hotel. They all scrambled to attend to the guests, with many units getting booked. That afternoon, Lisa stepped outside the building for her break. She had half an hour to collect her thoughts. She carried the lunch she'd packed in a small container and ate in the little food court on the side of the hotel. She preferred to eat there to avoid her co-workers. Jessie's so annoying. She acts like she's all that, but she looks like a frog, Lisa muttered to herself while wolfing down her food. Suddenly, an elderly man stopped in front of her. He managed to enter freely because the food court was an open area. Lisa worried that the guard might chase him off once he noticed. "Sir, would you like something to eat?" she asked. The old man gave a wide smile as he looked at her food. "Lucky me, you haven't finished yet. Here, sir, please take it. Sorry, this is all I have right now. It's not payday yet." Lisa apologized. Without hesitation, she handed over her food to the old man, who sat down across from her. "Thank you so much, miss. I haven't eaten anything for quite a while. You're heaven sent," the old man said. "It's nothing," Lisa replied. "You're a kind person, miss. I think your parents must have raised you well," he said. "My grandparents actually raised me. I never met my parents because, according to my grandparents, they died in a massive fire in Brooklyn years ago, while at work," Lisa explained. "Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have mentioned it." "No, it's okay. What matters is, I still have people I consider family," Lisa said. She glanced surreptitiously at the old man's clothes, noticing he was messy but not in tatters. He looked like a typical homeless wanderer in her eyes. "Miss, do you think I can apply for a job in that hotel? I really need money to survive," the old man asked. Lisa paused to think. Considering the man's age, she only knew of one position he might fit. "Sir, I hope you won't be offended, but the only opening I know of at the hotel is for a janitor." "That's fine by me. I only made it through elementary school, but I can read. How do I apply to that hotel, miss?" the man asked. "Just bring your resume, then come back around the same time tomorrow. I'll take you to HR. Also, sorry, I'm repeating this, but you'll need to dress a bit nicer. That's something they look for when hiring," Lisa explained. "I see. I'll see if I have anything decent to wear. Thanks, miss," the old man said. He returned Lisa's container, thanked her, and walked away. He waved at her before crossing the street. Lisa couldn't help smiling to herself. She never thought she'd still be in a good mood, despite her day starting off badly because of Jesse. She sighed. "I forgot to ask him his name," she muttered. After her break, Lisa went back to work. She was exhausted from dealing with so many tasks. By 9 p.m., she finally clocked out. She hurried home because her grandfather, Mr. Casey, had texted her that Mrs. Lucy, her grandmother, was rushed to the hospital. Lisa flagged down a cab and headed to the hospital where Mrs. Lucy was admitted. When she arrived, she found Mr. Casey outside the room. "Grandpa, what happened to Grandma?" she asked. "I brought her here because she was complaining of severe stomach pain earlier. I don't know yet what's going on. We have to wait for the doctor," he replied. They sat on a bench, quietly waiting for the doctor to come out. Lisa couldn't help feeling worried since this was the first time this had happened to Mrs. Lucy. After a few moments, the doctor emerged and explained her grandmother's condition. According to him, Mrs. Lucy had developed a tumor in her ovary, and if it wasn't removed as soon as possible, her life could be in danger. Lisa felt weak at the news, especially because it would require a lot of money to pay for the surgery. "Oh dear, where are we going to get that much money? Lord help us," Mr. Casey fretted. "Don't worry, Grandpa, I'll find a way," Lisa vowed. But in the back of her mind, she had no idea where she would get that kind of money. Even if she got her next paycheck, it wouldn't be enough. She made around $30,000 per cutoff, but the operation would cost about $100,000. The next day, Lisa came into work feeling anxious, which her manager, Jim, immediately noticed. He approached her. "Hey, Lisa, I've been watching you. What's your problem? I don't want you zoning out on the job. That's how mistakes happen. You might as well go home if you can't do your work right now." "No, sir, I really need money. I can't afford to be absent." "Everyone here needs money, so work properly. But in your condition, can you really focus?" "I can manage, sir. Please don't send me home. My grandma is in the hospital. I really need the money," Lisa said with a trembling voice. Her anxious expression seemed to calm Jim down slightly. Come with me, then. I've got something to tell you, Jim said. Where are we going, sir? My office. Let's go, Jim replied. Because Lisa was desperate to earn money, she followed Jim. When they arrived, they found Jessie there, casually sitting in the office chair like she owned the place. What's she doing here, Jim? Jessie asked in surprise. Lisa was also confused why Jessie was talking to Jim like they were equals. But Lisa's confusion dissolved when Jim moved in close to Jessie and kissed her on the lips, confirming they were a couple. Hey, we need a model for our little business. This is Lisa. She's pretty and she's got a nice figure. She might be useful, Jim said. You want to bring her in with us? No way. I hate her face. Send her away, Jessie spat. Jessie, come on. We need the extra income. Lisa here can help, so just say yes, Jim insisted. Lisa had no idea what they were talking about. All she understood was that they might want to make her a model, but she didn't know for what. She also just discovered they had some side job going, and that Jim and Jessie were dating. Whatever it is you're talking about, I'm not interested. I don't want to get involved in your sideline. Besides, I know Jessie will only get more ticked off at me. I'll be leaving now, sir, Lisa said, not waiting for Jim to answer. She walked out of the office quickly. A few hours passed, and it was break time. Lisa suddenly remembered the old man she'd met at the food court. She quickly headed outside. She was right. The old man was there with a resume in hand. He was dressed differently now, ripped jeans and a polo shirt that had stains here and there. Miss Lisa, good thing you came. I'm here and I've got my resume, but this really is the only set of clothes I have. Do you think they'll hire me as a janitor like this? The old man asked hopefully. Lisa could see how eager he was. We'll see. Just make sure you answer their questions well. But don't be surprised if you encounter a certain crazy manager. Don't worry, though. I'll take you to HR. You can do this, Mr. Rodney, Lisa said with encouragement. Before Lisa's break ended, they went inside Riverdale Hotel. Lisa hadn't even grabbed a bite to eat, but she didn't mind. The moment they stepped into the lobby, people glanced at them. Most either moved away or looked on in disgust because of Mr. Rodney's appearance. By the way, I forgot to ask your name yesterday, Lisa said inside the elevator. Rodney, just call me Rodney, or Mr. Rodney if you prefer, the old man replied, still smiling as if thrilled to be inside the fancy building. When the elevator opened, they ran into Jessie. She'd clearly just eaten, as there was sauce on the side of her mouth. She eyed Mr. Rodney with a look of revulsion, clearly disgusted. Gross, Lisa. You brought a homeless guy here? Is that your father? Jessie sneered. Lisa wanted to ignore Jessie's rude attitude, but then Jessie said something even more hurtful. Oh, I forgot. You don't have parents. They're dead, Jessie added. Lisa's fist clenched. She looked like she was about to punch Jessie. Oh, you want to hit me? Do it, and see if you can keep your job. Maybe you've forgotten your grandma's in the hospital, and you need money, Jessie taunted. Jessie, not now. I've got things to do. If you have nothing better to do, just focus on your job so your day can actually mean something, Lisa said. What did you say? Jessie exploded. Lisa ignored her, guiding Mr. Rodney to HR. Once they were in front of the office, Mr. Rodney took a deep breath. Don't worry, and don't be too nervous. Keep your mind clear. You can do it, Lisa told him. Miss, can you stay with me during the interview? Mr. Rodney asked anxiously. I'm not sure if that's allowed, but let's try, Lisa said. Thank you, he said, relieved. They opened the door to HR and headed to Jim's office, since his team had the vacant janitor position. Jim was busy reading paperwork. When he sensed them standing at the door, he looked up irritably, brow furrowed. Lisa, what is this? Why'd you bring that filthy old man in here? Jim demanded, slamming his hand on his desk. Mr. Rodney, still smiling, stepped forward as if admiring the office. Sir, Mr. Rodney isn't homeless. He's here to apply as a janitor. I heard we have an opening, Lisa said. Where'd you pick him up, Lisa? I'm asking you. Where? I'm the one who came to her and asked for help to apply, Mr. Rodney said politely. Shut it, old man. I wasn't talking to you, Jim snarled. I'm sorry, Mr. Rodney mumbled. Lisa, if you were going to bring someone in, at least get someone strong, maybe a young female janitor. But this is what you come up with? He looks weak, dirty, and smelly. It's disgusting, Jim raged. Sir, please don't be like that to him. All he wants is a job. Let's help him out. He may be old, but at least he's trying, Lisa countered. I don't care. I want someone younger, preferably female. I don't care what he wants. Get him out of here before I lose my temper. You know I hate bad smells, Jim snapped. Sir, maybe you could just give me a chance. If you think I'm not good at this job, then you can fire me, Mr. Rodney pleaded. Why do you think you know more than me, old man? Leave now before I say something I'll regret. And you, Lisa, get him out of here if you don't want to get in trouble. You know I hate smelly people, Jim finished. Lisa had no choice but to escort the old man out. Once outside, Lisa was surprised that Mr. Rodney didn't even look sad. He was still smiling, as though unaffected by Jim's insults. I'm really sorry, sir. That's the crazy manager I was telling you about. Lisa apologized, visibly upset. It's all right, miss. Maybe this place just isn't for me. I'm happy enough to have entered such a fine building. Don't worry, my destiny doesn't end here. I'll find another job, Mr. Rodney said cheerfully. I truly am sorry, Lisa repeated. You didn't do anything wrong. I saw how hard you tried to defend me. Some people just abuse the power they have. Don't worry, that Jim guy's days are numbered, Mr. Rodney said cryptically. Huh? What do you mean by that? Lisa asked, puzzled. Oh, nothing. I'm just saying. Anyway, would you mind walking me to the elevator? Elevators make me a bit nervous, since I've never really used one before, Mr. Rodney said, chuckling. Lisa laughed softly, and they walked away together. She walked him all the way out of the hotel. She felt sad for him. If only she could do more to help him, she would. On her way back to the work area, Lisa ended up sharing an elevator with Alvin. He smiled warmly at her. Good afternoon, Lisa. Good afternoon, sir. By the way, that old man with me earlier was Mr. Rodney. I met him in the food court. He applied as a janitor for our team, but Jim rejected him right away. He even said some terrible things, Lisa explained. Then she covered her mouth, realizing she had accidentally tattled. Tisk, Jim's crazy. If I could fire him immediately, I would, Alvin said with a sigh. Lisa kept quiet, worried she'd spill even more of Jim's misdeeds. All right, good luck with work. Bye, Alvin said, flashing a wide smile at her. Several female employees noticed this and shot daggers at Lisa. They were envious of the attention Alvin gave her. Lisa chose to focus on her tasks, knowing how much she needed the money. She volunteered to do overtime for some extra pay. By 11 p.m., she was cleaning a room on the 7th floor, used by some of their Chinese guests. The moment Lisa walked in, she was hit by the stench of vomit and alcohol. She was used to smells like that after almost a year as a housekeeper, so she could handle it. Ugh, some guests really don't think. The bathroom is right over there, but they still puked on the table. Annoying, Lisa muttered. She realized she didn't bring a mop, so she decided to go down and get one. As she exited the room, she saw Jessie stepping out of the last room on the corridor, along with another co-worker, Rick, who was just as much of a creep as Jim. Lisa wondered what they were both doing in that room. Even more puzzling was the odd attire they wore, like they were in cosplay costumes, with Jessie's being extremely revealing. Her cleavage was practically spilling out. Jessie and Rick seemed rushed, as if running from something. They didn't notice Lisa. So she claims I'm the flirty one, but she's obviously the real flirt. She's got Jim, and she's still hooking up with Rick. Disgusting, Lisa muttered once Jessie and Rick were gone. She passed by the room they'd come out of. A short piece of black cloth was hanging on the doorknob, like it was some kind of signal. Lisa shrugged and walked away. After her shift, Lisa went straight to the hospital to visit her grandmother. Her grandfather had texted, saying Mrs. Lucy wanted to see her. At the hospital's entrance, Lisa unexpectedly ran into Alvin. She was taken aback. "Sir Alvin?" "Oh, Lisa, what are you doing here?" "My grandma is confined here. How about you, sir?" "A friend of mine works here as a doctor. I was just dropping by," Alvin answered. "I see. Well, I need to get going, sir. I have to be at work early tomorrow." "All right, take care," Alvin said, flashing another smile. Lisa smiled back, and Alvin left. She proceeded to Mrs. Lucy's room, finding her grandparents in conversation. She placed the fruits she bought on the side. "How are you feeling, Grandma? Is your stomach still hurting?" Lisa asked. "I'm fine, dear. The pain subsided a bit," Mrs. Lucy said. The doctor had given her a pain reliever, but Mrs. Lucy still needed surgery as soon as possible, as Mr. Casey reminded Lisa. Lisa forced a wide smile so she wouldn't appear worried. "Don't worry, Grandma. I'll find a way to pay for your operation soon," she insisted. "I'm sorry you have to bear this burden because of me," Mrs. Lucy said sadly. "No, Grandma, don't apologize. All that matters is you get well," Lisa replied. Lisa went to billing to find out how much they'd at least get started on the operation. She was shocked when the hospital staff told her they didn't owe anything. "Ma'am, are you sure? We haven't paid anything. How is it possible we're cleared?" Lisa asked, confused. "Someone paid your bill in advance," the staff member explained. "Who was it?" "I'm sorry, ma'am. He told us not to reveal his identity," they replied. Lisa was momentarily speechless. She didn't know what to feel. She was happy, but also curious about who could have helped them. Grateful for this stroke of luck, she entered work the next day in a great mood. She was no longer burdened by that enormous hospital bill. Her only problem now was dealing with her ridiculous co-workers. The next day, she saw Jessie and Rick emerging from that same 7th-floor room again. She wondered what was going on in there but chose not to investigate further. She stayed focused on her tasks. Before she knew it, break time arrived. As Lisa stepped onto the 3rd floor, she saw Mr. Rodney mopping the floor. She beamed at the sight of him in uniform, apparently working for the hotel after all. "Mr. Rodney, you're here. So you reapplied and Jim accepted you," Lisa exclaimed. "Nope, Jim wasn't the one who hired me. It was another manager, tall and good-looking, who hired me on the spot," Mr. Rodney said. "Whoever that was, he's really nice." "Congratulations, Mr. Rodney," Lisa said. "Thank you, dear. You're the reason I'm here. If it weren't for you—" "Oh, no, sir. You deserve the credit. Thank yourself," Lisa said. They were interrupted by Jim, who scowled the moment he saw Mr. Rodney. "Hey, why is that old man here again? And why is he holding a mop?" Jim demanded. "Sir, I got hired. I applied with another manager," Mr. Rodney said happily. "And who's the idiot manager that hired you? I already rejected you." "Lisa, who hired this old tramp?" "I don't know, sir. I just found out now that Mr. Rodney is officially hired," Lisa answered. "Damn it. Find me the idiot manager who hired this filthy man. I won't allow someone like him on our team. It irritates me. I'm the one who hired him for your team," said a voice. It was Alvin, who had just arrived, hands in his pockets. Jim was stunned when he realized it was the head manager, who outranked him. He suddenly backpedaled. "Oh, Sir Alvin, you did?" I didn't know. Is there a problem with me letting him in?" Jim asked awkwardly. I saw that Mr. Rodney still has the capacity to work. Sure, he looks rough, but I sense he's a hard-working person. We do need a janitor, right? If you have a problem with my decision, we can always discuss it in my office, Alvin said. No, Sir Alvin, if it's your decision, then of course it's right, Jim said, forcing a laugh, though inwardly seething at Alvin. All right, that settles it. I'll be on my way now. I've got things to handle, Alvin said, with another quick smile at Lisa. She stood there, stunned, as she watched Alvin walk away. When Alvin was gone, Jim turned his fury on Mr. Rodney. Listen here, old man, you better do your job right. One screw up and I'll fire you on the spot. Got it? Jim glared at Mr. Rodney. The old man nodded like a child, still smiling. Jim stomped away like a sulking brat who'd lost an argument. Mr. Rodney, now that you're here at Riverdale Hotel, just do your best at all times, okay? Our team is strict. You've seen how our manager can be. We can't afford mistakes. But I believe in you, Lisa said. She even took his wrinkled hand in hers. Thank you, dear. You're the reason I'm here. If I hadn't met you, I wouldn't have this job. When I get my first paycheck, I'm taking you out to eat. My treat, Mr. Rodney insisted. Oh, that's really not necessary, sir. Just save your money. No, let me do this as my way of thanking you, so don't say no, he said. All right, I won't argue then, Lisa replied, smiling. After their chat, Lisa headed back to the locker room. She found Trina there, applying heavy makeup. It wasn't the usual subtle look of a fellow housekeeper. Intrigued, Lisa asked about it. Trina, why are you wearing that kind of makeup? Are you going to a party? You know we can't wear that sort of thing if we're still clocked in. Are you going home? Do I look like I'm clocking out? Trina snapped sarcastically, rolling her eyes. Then why? Lisa asked. Don't pry, Lisa. I need to do this because I need extra money, Trina said. Lisa's curiosity deepened. What do you mean, extra income? What are you… I'm not telling you unless you're interested in coming with me, Trina said, giving Lisa a mischievous grin. When the elevator doors opened, they came upon a tense scene. Mr. Rodney was on the floor, trying to clean up spilled rice and a milkshake. Standing in front of him, face red with anger, was Jessie, shouting loudly. People in the hallway watched the commotion. Whose idea was it to let this old fool in? He doesn't watch where he's going. I just bought my meal, and he bumped into me. Now my food's wasted. Ugh, so stupid, Jessie ranted. I'm sorry, ma'am. My eyesight's bad. I honestly didn't see you, but I can pay you back, Mr. Rodney offered softly. Oh, pay me back. From your broke-looking pockets. Please, disgusting. This is so annoying, Jessie yelled. Hold on. There's no need to scream at Mr. Rodney like that. Lisa couldn't help stepping in. He didn't do it on purpose. Anyone can make a mistake, so why treat him this way? Don't you have a father or parents who taught you any manners? Lisa's words only fueled Jessie's fury. Jessie stormed toward Lisa and tried to slap her, but Lisa blocked it. You're going to assault me just because you're embarrassed by your own behavior? Lisa asked. You're too meddlesome, Lisa. Let's see how tough you are, Jessie threatened. Just then, Alvin arrived with 2 security personnel. What's going on here? He demanded. Mr. Rodney scrambled to his feet. Sir, I'm sorry. This is all my fault. My eyesight is bad, and I accidentally bumped into Ma'am Jessie. She spilled her food, but it really wasn't intentional, Mr. Rodney explained. And, sir, she's been completely disrespectful to an elderly person, Lisa added. Stop complaining, Lisa, Jessie snapped. Jessie, that's enough. Come with me to my office, Alvin ordered. But, sir, Jessie tried to protest, you know food isn't allowed here, so why did you have one in the hallway? Follow me and we'll discuss your attitude, Alvin said, turning to leave. Jessie had no choice but to go with him. Lisa and Mr. Rodney were left behind. Trina, who had been in the corner, quietly slipped away. By then, the bystanders had also dispersed. "Mr. Rodney, are you all right?" Lisa asked worriedly. "I'm fine. Things like this happen. It was partly my fault," the old man said quietly. "It's not normal for someone to be yelled at that way over an accident. Everyone makes mistakes, but that doesn't give anyone the right to stomp on others. Besides, she probably wasn't watching where she was going either." "I know Jessie. She walks around like she owns the place," Lisa said, making Mr. Rodney chuckle. "It's okay, Lisa. Go back to your work. I'll clean up here before Mr. Jim sees me." "I'll help you." "No need. This is my job. Let me handle it. That way I'll learn," he said. "All right, if you insist. I'll get going now," Lisa replied. Word of the incident spread quickly throughout the team. By the end of the shift, everyone was talking about how Jessie still hadn't returned to the staff room, and it was soon confirmed that she had been suspended. That evening, as Lisa was gathering her things to head home, Rick approached her. "Lisa, Jim says to go to his office," Rick said with a leering grin that made her uncomfortable. Lisa felt nervous. She suspected this was related to the earlier incident with Jessie, but she steeled herself, believing she'd done nothing wrong. She walked into Jim's office. The moment she did, she saw him yelling at Mr. Rodney. Jim stopped only when he spotted her. "You too, Lisa. Come here. You two are driving me nuts," Jim snarled. Lisa nervously walked over and took a seat beside Mr. Rodney. "What was that you pulled?" Jim demanded. "Which do you mean, sir?" Lisa asked. "Are you stupid, or are you trying to piss me off? You're telling me you did nothing wrong?" Jim asked, glaring. "I don't think I did anything wrong, sir," Lisa insisted, meeting his gaze. "Nothing wrong? Are you that dumb? Because of your meddling, Jessie got suspended. Jessie, our star employee who foreign guests always shower with tips. Now that she's gone, how the hell will we get any tips? You and the others don't attract guests like she does. If you'd just cleaned up the mess quietly, none of this would have happened." "But no, you had to cause a scene," Jim snarled, spittle flying in Lisa and Mr. Rodney's faces. Lisa covered her nose, noticing Jim's breath reeked of onions. Jim grew even more incensed that they didn't appear frightened. "I'm getting really fed up with you, Lisa. And you, old man, you haven't even been here a week and you're already stirring up trouble. Well, I don't care. I'm suspending both of you for a month," Jim declared. Lisa and Mr. Rodney stayed silent, which only seemed to anger Jim further because they showed no reaction to his threat. "Are you deaf?" I said. "You're suspended for a month," Jim repeated, slamming his desk. "Well, sir, Mr. Alvin told me you can't suspend me because I haven't done anything wrong," Mr. Rodney said calmly. "That's what he told me too, sir. So, whose orders do we follow, yours or someone higher?" Lisa asked. Jim was practically steaming, letting out a furious roar. He knew he couldn't overrule the head manager. "Damn that Alvin," he muttered under his breath. Mr. Rodney and Lisa stayed calm. "Get out of here before I do something I'll regret. Out!" Jim bellowed. They hurried out, with Lisa letting out a huge sigh. She noticed Mr. Rodney looked as calm as ever, as if nothing had happened. "Good thing Mr. Alvin's on our side, right?" Lisa said, exhaling. "Exactly. He knows what's right and wrong, and he won't let the bad guys rule his place. I knew I was right about him," Mr. Rodney said, which made Lisa curious. "Mr. Rodney, do you actually know Mr. Alvin?" she asked. "It seems like—" Suddenly, the old man came to his senses and laughed. "No, what I mean is, I wasn't mistaken about him. He really is different compared to the managers here," he said. "Oh, you're right," the young woman replied. After Lisa finished talking to Mr. Rodney, they left Riverdale Hotel together. Lisa was the first to hop on a bus. The old man was still smiling when her ride finally pulled away. While on the road, Lisa couldn't stop thinking about Mr. Rodney. She felt there was something odd about him, but she couldn't pinpoint what it was. When she arrived home, her grandparents, Mr. Casey and Mrs. Lucy, were still awake. Lisa happily approached them in their room. "I brought some fruit, Grandma, and for you, Grandpa, I bought your favorite snacks," she said, setting her purchases down. "Oh my goodness, our granddaughter is really the sweetest," Mrs. Lucy exclaimed. "My dear, I hope you're still getting enough rest. We're worried you'll get sick. You know your immune system is weak," Mr. Casey said. "Don't worry, Grandpa and Grandma. I'm not overdoing it at work. I rest when I need to," Lisa said cheerfully. "By the way, honey, do you know who actually paid for my operation? I'd like to thank them and at least figure out how we can pay them back," Mrs. Lucy asked. "Grandma, I still don't know who it was. I've asked the hospital staff multiple times, but they won't say anything," Lisa explained. "Maybe that person likes you," Mr. Casey teased. "Be careful, though. He might use the money he spent to force you into something." "Oh, Casey, don't say that," Mrs. Lucy interjected. "I have a feeling the person who helped us genuinely meant it. I can sense that whoever it is must be a good person." "Don't worry, I won't stop until I find out who helped us," Lisa promised. The next day, Lisa arrived at work an hour before her scheduled shift. While walking down the hallway, she spotted Jessie and Rick together. She stood off to the side to see where the two were heading and watched them enter the elevator, bound for the 7th floor. For some unknown reason, Lisa remembered the strange secret that Jessie and Rick seemed to have. She quickly stepped into another elevator and went to the 7th floor herself. Upon arriving, she saw from a distance that Jessie, Rick, and Jim were standing by one of the room doors. They were also with a few other people who had a camera and some kind of costumes. That section of the floor was deserted because the units there weren't typically rented out, so Lisa realized they were probably up to no good. What's happening there? The other day I saw Rick and Trina, and now Jessie and Sir Jim are also there, she muttered. Before they noticed her, Lisa quietly turned around and left. On the 2nd floor, she ran into Trina, who was wearing a different style of makeup yet again. Lisa was surprised because Trina wasn't on duty until later. "Hey, why are you here? You're not on until later," Lisa asked, puzzled. "That's none of your business," Trina snapped, walking away without looking back. "What is she doing here? Jessie is also here, even though she's supposed to be suspended. Does Sir Alvin know what's going on?" Lisa wondered, shaking her head. She returned to the staff room, and an hour later, her shift officially began. She got busy with many guests, so busy that she didn't see much of Mr. Rodney either. Around 5 in the afternoon, she finally got a break. As she headed downstairs, she saw Jessie wearing a provocative getup, a Japanese school uniform costume, with makeup caked on heavily, and Lisa caught a whiff of something strong and odd around her. "Are you satisfied that I got suspended?" Jessie asked, glaring at Lisa. "You're suspended, yet here you are. Doesn't look like you're suspended," Lisa answered boldly. "Don't you have a brain? I'm only suspended as an employee, not as a guest," Jessie snapped. "Oh, so you're a guest now." "Right, you and Rick," Lisa replied. Jessie's eyebrows knitted together, and she stepped closer. "What are you talking about?" Jessie demanded, her anger mounting. "Just curious, Jessie. What exactly is in that room?" Lisa asked with a sly smile. She started to walk away, but Jessie grabbed her arm and hissed one last threat. "Lisa, don't try to meddle. You'll ruin your life." "Jessie, I'm not scared because I'm not doing anything wrong. You should be the one who's scared because clearly you're up to something bad. Bye," Lisa said, yanking her arm free and leaving. Jessie stood fuming, looking like she was about to explode. Lisa then went to the food court, where she found Mr. Rodney. He smiled when he saw her. "Oh, miss, sit with me. Let's eat together," the old man invited, gesturing for her to sit. "Thank you, that looks tasty," Lisa commented after sitting down. "Oh, it's just hot dogs and some dried fish. What are you having?" "I've also got hot dogs and eggs," Lisa laughed. They chatted while they ate. By the time Lisa clocked out, she felt happy. Everything seemed perfect. Her grandmother was recovering, none of her annoying co-workers bothered her that day, and Jim mostly stayed away from her. Lisa stood outside the hotel, smiling as she waited for a ride home. Suddenly, a van pulled up in front of her, and someone dragged her inside. Inside the vehicle, she saw a group of men she didn't know, men who looked dangerous. "What do you want from me? Who are you?" Lisa asked fearfully. "If you want to stay alive, keep quiet. Whatever you've seen, if you open your mouth, you and your grandparents are finished. Understand?" One of the men growled. She couldn't clearly see his face because it was dark inside. Yes, I won't say anything. Please let me go," Lisa begged. "We'll let you go, but if you ruin our plans, your grandparents will suffer. I know you don't want that, so cooperate," the man threatened. Lisa nodded, trembling. When they reached a dimly lit area, the sliding door was opened and she was forced out. She sat down on the curb, crying, unsure what to do. It was nearly 10 p.m. when she finally returned home. She composed herself before facing her grandparents, not wanting them to worry, and decided to hide what happened. The next day was Lisa's day off, which she planned to spend going to church. She headed out around 3 in the afternoon. She was used to going alone, though she did miss her grandparents' company. After Mass, Lisa felt somewhat lighter, although the fear from the previous night still lingered. She kept thinking about the men in the van, and whether Jim or Jesse knew them, but she couldn't just accuse people without proof. One mistake could place her grandparents in danger. "Hey, you look spaced out again," a familiar male voice said. Looking up, Lisa saw Alvin. "Sir Alvin, what are you doing here?" she asked. "I attend church here too. I just finished, actually. And you?" Alvin replied. "Oh, me too. It's nice talking to God. It really makes me feel better," Lisa said. "It sure does. Are you heading home now? Want a ride?" Alvin offered. "Oh, you don't have to. I still feel bad about everything you've done for Mr. Rodney and me," Lisa said shyly. "I'm not expecting anything in return. I'm offering to drive you because it's tough to get a decent ride this time of day. And if you take a cab, the fare might be ridiculous," Alvin insisted. "Okay, if you say so. Thank you." Lisa was quiet during the drive, her mind stuck on what had happened the night before. Alvin chatted on and on, not realizing Lisa was too distracted to absorb much of what he said. Eventually, they arrived at her house. She thanked Alvin, and he left. "Granddaughter, who was that guy? Is he your boyfriend?" Mr. Casey asked upon seeing Lisa arrive. "No, Grandpa, that was my head manager. He was kind enough to offer me a ride," Lisa said. "Not bad. He's handsome, kind, and probably well off," Mr. Casey teased. "Oh, Grandpa, let's go inside," Lisa said, rolling her eyes but laughing. A week later, Lisa's day was ruined because Jessie finally returned to work. Her suspension was over. While in the locker room, Jessie approached her again, and Lisa knew she was in for more insults. She tried to avoid Jessie, but Jessie grabbed her arm roughly. "Where do you think you're going?" Jessie asked, eyes flashing. "Working, obviously. What do you think? Going to the mall?" Lisa shot back sarcastically. Jessie slapped Lisa hard across the face. Their co-workers, who witnessed the scene, were shocked but didn't intervene. They were probably afraid because Jessie was dating Jim, their manager. "That's not enough punishment for what you've done to me, trying to one-up me all the time. What exactly are you so proud of, huh, Sir Alvin? Are you two together or something? Has your flirting paid off, making you feel invincible now?" Jessie demanded furiously. "What on earth are you talking about? You should get yourself checked. Your delusions are spiraling out of control, Lisa retorted. Jessie slapped her again, this time almost knocking Lisa into the locker. Trina finally spoke up. Knock it off, Jessie. If the higher-ups find out, you'll be in trouble again, Trina warned. I don't care. I've had enough of this girl, Jessie spat, grabbing Lisa's hair and yanking her head back as if she planned to slam her into the wall. Stop it. I haven't done anything to you. You act like you're the owner of this place, but you're just a housekeeper too, Lisa said. Jessie prepared to slap her once more, but suddenly someone blocked Jessie's hand. It was Mr. Rodney. He shoved Jessie's arm aside. And what's a grimy old janitor doing here? Jessie sneered. I'm also a staff member, so I have a locker here, Mr. Rodney replied, then turned to Lisa. You don't have to worry anymore. This woman won't hurt you again, he added. You, old man, know your place. Do you see any other janitors here? Go back to whatever hole you came from, Jessie yelled. Jessie, if you don't leave Lisa alone, I'm reporting you to Sir Alvin. What you're doing goes beyond what any decent employee should do, Mr. Rodney warned. Jessie froze, suddenly realizing she could be suspended again if the head manager got wind of this. We're not finished, Lisa. As long as you're here, I'll make sure your life is miserable. I'll force you to leave this place, Jessie threatened, storming out like a petulant child and slamming the staff room door. Lisa, are you okay? Mr. Rodney asked. No, I'm not, Lisa whimpered. Go ahead and cry. I'll stay here with you, Mr. Rodney said. He stayed with her until she calmed down. I don't know why she hates me so much. Ever since I started here, she's been envious of everything, even when I have nothing to brag about. She's gorgeous, tall, and fair-skinned, while I'm just an ordinary girl. I don't get it, Lisa said, sitting on the floor by her locker. Some people are just like that. The good thing is, you don't stoop to her level. Would you like us to tell Alvin about this? Mr. Rodney asked. I don't want to cause any more trouble for him, Lisa said softly. All right, but if you need help, never hesitate to ask me, okay? Mr. Rodney replied. Lisa nodded in response. In the following days, Jessie surprisingly left Lisa alone, and Jim also seemed to stay quiet. But Lisa still sometimes saw Jessie hanging out on the 7th floor in costume, along with Trina and Rick. Around 7 in the evening, Jim spoke to Lisa. He seemed unusually serious and professional, a stark contrast to his usual behavior. She felt uneasy. Lisa, I asked you to come here, Jim said, once she entered his office. He sat up straight and sighed, looking at her. Go to room 123. That's my friend's room. He's not there right now, so clean it for him so it's ready when he arrives. All right, sir, she answered. The stuff in there is expensive, so be careful how you move around. If anything goes missing, you'll be the prime suspect. Make sure to lock the door on your way out, Jim added. Yes, sir, I understand, Lisa said. As she was leaving, she noticed Jim's oddly sly smile, which made her feel uncomfortable, but she ignored it. She followed Jim's instructions and went to room 123. The place was a mess. Pants scattered on the floor, some hanging off the bathroom door, empty liquor bottles and leftover snacks on the table. Who on earth lives here? It's so messy. Then again, he's a friend of Sir Jim, so I shouldn't be surprised, Lisa muttered. While cleaning, she found a wallet beside a drawer. It lay on the floor, so she picked it up to return it to one of the compartments. Glancing inside, she saw a large sum of money, more than she'd ever seen in her entire life. She also noticed from the IDs that the owner of the wallet was an American citizen. Startled, she put the wallet away and closed the drawer. Wow, that's a ton of cash. When will I ever have that much? She mumbled to herself, letting out a faint chuckle. She resumed cleaning and finished quickly. She knew the routine well. She headed back to the staff room. After about 2 hours, She was getting ready to go home when several co-workers, including Jessie and Trina, rushed inside. Lisa ignored them at first, but then overheard their conversation. "That guest was furious about losing his money. I would be too," said Beth, one of their co-workers. "Yeah, who could have stolen the guest's money? Do we have a thief among us?" Mary asked. Suddenly, everyone turned and looked at Lisa. A cold wave of unease swept over her. "Why are you all looking at me?" she asked. "There's money missing from one of our guests," Trina said. "So? Why look at me? I didn't take anything," Lisa snapped, standing up. "Why so defensive? If you didn't take it, then fine," Trina replied snidely, raising an eyebrow. Lisa noticed that Trina was starting to act as hostile as Jessie. Jessie herself was uncharacteristically quiet, just glaring from the corner. "You're all staring at me, so of course I'm going to be defensive. Maybe one of you took it, but you're all pointing fingers at me." "I'm out of here," Lisa muttered, heading toward the door. Jessie suddenly broke her silence. "You won't get away that easily," she said, giving Lisa a wicked look. Lisa just rolled her eyes and left. She hopped on a bus outside and went home. The next day, before Lisa even reached the front desk, she heard the receptionists buzzing about what happened. It seemed everyone in the hotel knew about the missing money. "Ugh, these receptionists, instead of working, they're just gossiping," Lisa muttered. She got in the elevator, only to find herself with an American man who appeared about the same age as Jim. He was on his phone, visibly angry. "I need that money. No, do everything you can, because that money is for my vacation here. Bring my money back or I'll report all of you to the police," the man shouted, storming out as soon as the door opened. Lisa felt a chill. He looked ready to explode. As she walked the hallway, she ran into Mr. Rodney, who was mopping the floor. He was sweating profusely. "Oh, miss, you're early today," he said curiously. "Yes, because Sir Jim messaged all the housekeeping staff to come in early. There's a problem," Lisa explained. "A problem? What problem?" Mr. Rodney asked. "Someone lost a large amount of money, one of our guests apparently." "So Sir Jim wants us all in early," Lisa whispered, feeling a surge of dread. It dawned on her that she was the one who cleaned the American's room. She gulped. Though she knew she hadn't stolen anything, she couldn't help being afraid she'd be the prime suspect. After a brief exchange, Lisa continued on to the staff room. From outside, she could hear people talking about her. The fear in her stomach intensified. Summoning her courage, she opened the door and saw everyone turn to look at her, including Jim, who wore a furious scowl. "She must have stolen the guest's money," Beth said, pointing at Lisa. "What are you talking about?" Lisa demanded. "We already know, Lisa. You were the only one who cleaned room 123. "Who else should we blame?" Trina added. "You're all crazy. I'm no thief. Why would I steal someone else's money?" Lisa fired back. "We don't really know you that well. For all we know, this could be who you really are," Mary chimed in. "Stop accusing me. I didn't take anything. Yes, I picked up a wallet there, but I put it right back in the drawer," Lisa insisted. "Meaning you saw it, so you obviously knew there was money in there. Anyone would be tempted by that amount of cash. So why don't you just confess and save us the trouble?" "The American is already furious at the admin," Trina pressed. "Trina, when did you start acting like this? Have you been hanging out with Jessie too much?" "I'm not confessing anything because I didn't do anything," Lisa shot back. "Sir Jim, why don't we just search everyone's locker? That way we'll know who the thief is," Beth suggested. "That's a good idea, Beth. Let's open them all," Jim said. Lisa felt a rush of panic. Something was clearly off. They searched the lockers one by one, passing over Jessie's, Trina's, and everyone else's with no results. Finally, Lisa's locker was the only one left. Jim gave her a stern look before opening it. The moment he swung the door open, they all saw the American's wallet inside, still stuffed with money. "What is the meaning of this?" Jim yelled, holding the wallet. Trina hurriedly called security, and Lisa realized with horror that she'd been set up. How did that get in my locker? I never took it," she pleaded. "Lisa, who would have put it there if not you? You're the only one with a key, right?" Jim asked. "Admit it, Lisa. You stole my friend's money," he accused. "I did not. I didn't steal anything," Lisa insisted, her voice shaking. "If you didn't, then why was it in your locker?" Jim countered. Lisa glanced over at Jessie, who wore a smug smile, taunting her. Lisa instantly knew Jessie had planted the wallet to get rid of her. "How dare you, Jessie? You'll do anything to get rid of me, won't you?" Lisa shouted in anger. "Oh, Sir Jim, now she's accusing me, when she's the real thief," Jessie said with a fake pout. Moments later, 2 security personnel arrived. They asked Lisa to come peacefully to the admin office, but she refused at first, insisting she was innocent. She struggled against them, so some of her female co-workers helped drag her there. Lisa could do nothing but sob as she was forcibly brought in, feeling like everyone was against her. She had no idea why none of her superiors, like Alvin, were helping her. "Good afternoon, sir. Here's the person who took Mr. White's wallet," Jim said to the higher-ups. They all stood up and approached. "This woman is the one who stole Mr. White's money?" asked Mr. Lopez, an older man about the same age as Mr. Rodney. He was the hotel's director. "We searched the lockers of all her subordinates, and we found the missing money in hers. That only proves she did it," Jim insisted. "That's not true. I didn't do it, sir. This is a setup. Sir Alvin, you know me. I'm not like that," Lisa pleaded, looking at Alvin, who stood to the side, silently nodding at her to stay calm. "Sir, we've been observing her for a while now, even before our female employees would complain about missing makeup and small amounts of change. Now it's escalated to an actual guest's money," Jessie said, building the case against Lisa. "That's correct, sir. Lisa's hands are quick. Now we have proof she's a thief," Trina added. "Sir, please believe me. I never stole anything. Someone put that wallet in my locker. I was brought up well by my grandparents. I beg you, please trust me," Lisa cried. "Sir, we have to remove her from the company before it's too late. A person like that is dangerous," Jim concluded. Lisa was shaking as she watched the director's expression. It was clear he believed she was guilty. She glanced helplessly at Alvin, but he only gave her a few hand signals she didn't understand. Despair gripped her. No one seemed to believe her. "I didn't steal any money." Their conversation was cut off by an old man's voice from the doorway. Mr. Rodney, the janitor, stepped inside. Jim's eyebrows shot up, brimming with anger at the sight of him. "What are you doing here? This isn't the place for the likes of you. Stay out of this," Jim hissed at Mr. Rodney. "I'm here to help Lisa and prove she's innocent," Mr. Rodney replied calmly. Lisa noticed Alvin smiling at that moment, which gave her a glimmer of hope. Jim tried to grab Mr. Rodney's arm to force him out, but Alvin intervened. "Let him speak, Jim. We need to hear both sides. It's not right to only listen to yours, correct, sir?" Alvin said, turning to the director. The older man nodded in agreement. Mr. Rodney took a deep breath, looked at Lisa, and smiled. "From the short time I've known Lisa, I can tell she has a good heart. She's the kind of person who won't fight back even if you mistreat her. She'll just focus on her work. She's a decent individual. In fact, the first time we met, she helped me out. She gave me food and helped me get hired as a janitor here. I can feel that Lisa isn't capable of doing something like this," he said. Jim refused to let this stand. "We've known Lisa longer than you have. The female staff have been complaining about items going missing for ages. So how can you say she's so decent when you haven't even known her for a month?" Jim scoffed, flashing a smug grin. When you're truly a good person, you can sense if someone else is good. Just like how I can sense you're not a good person, nor are those women backing you, Mr. Rodney retorted. Hey, old man, watch what you say. You know nothing about what we've been through, Beth chimed in. Exactly. All you have are words, no evidence clearing Lisa. You're wasting our time, Jessie added. Watch your tone. You're in the admin office and our director is here, Alvin warned them. The director, who was growing impatient, finally spoke up. Do you have any proof that this woman didn't steal the money? He asked Mr. Rodney. Mr. Rodney reached into his pocket and took out a high-end cell phone with a large screen. Everyone wondered how he had such a device. Watch the video on this phone, he said. It will show who really planned to set up Lisa. Mr. Rodney handed his phone to Alvin, who played the video for all to see. It showed Jim, Jessie, and Trina talking in the parking lot, conspiring to frame Lisa. Everyone stared wide-eyed at the footage, a clear piece of evidence that it was all a setup. Don't believe that lunatic, Jim yelled. He doctored that footage. We were talking about something else. In his rage, he shoved Mr. Rodney so hard that the old man slipped on the floor. Jim, what are you doing? Have you lost your mind? Alvin snapped, helping Mr. Rodney up. And why are you all listening to him? He's just a janitor, Jim roared. Mr. Rodney let out a wry smile. Okay, Alvin, it looks like this is the right time for Jim to find out who I really am, he said. He then removed the fake beard, mustache, and white wig, plus the thin layer of prosthetics on his face. In a few moments, his real features were revealed. Neither Jim nor Lisa recognized him at first, though Lisa was completely stunned. The director, however, recognized him right away. Sir, it's you. I'm sorry I didn't know it was your voice. It's been so long since we last met, Mr. Lopez said, bowing respectfully. What's going on here, Alvin? Who is this old man in a costume? Jim demanded in a sarcastic tone. He's Mr. Rodrigo Pontalba, the owner of Riverdale Hotel. In other words, the highest authority here, Alvin announced. Everyone froze, especially Jim and Jessie. They couldn't believe the filthy old man they routinely mistreated was actually the owner of the hotel where they worked. During my observation, I confirmed just how poorly you run things, Jim. You don't belong at Riverdale Hotel. Neither do you, Jessie. Your behavior is atrocious, and you couldn't care less about anyone but yourself. But more than that, I want to expose your so-called sideline, Mr. Rodney said. Jessie was speechless, and Lisa just stared in shock, unable to process it all. Mr. Rodney stepped closer, and suddenly the police arrived. Everyone gaped, Lisa included. She had no idea the situation was this serious. Jim and Jessie, you two are the ringleaders behind distributing indecent videos online. You even used my hotel's units to create such disgusting content. You also allowed a crime syndicate to operate in Riverdale Hotel, although they've now been caught. The police are waiting to take you into custody, Mr. Rodney said calmly. That's not true, Jim protested. I posed as a janitor so I could figure out which rooms you were using for these indecent acts. While the police worked to track down the syndicate, Alvin and I set things up to catch you red-handed. You can't lie your way out of this, Jim. You pay certain female staff to strip and record obscene videos. Some of them you forced, threatening to harm their families if they refused, so nobody dared speak up until now. I won't allow you to exploit Riverdale Hotel for your perversions anymore, Mr. Rodney declared. Officers, take them away, he ordered. Wait, this is all a lie, Jim yelled, but the police ignored him as they escorted him and Jessie out. Jessie looked like a savage animal, glaring at Lisa all the way out. Mr. Rodney turned to Lisa with a broad smile and rested his hand on her shoulder. It's all over. You can breathe easy now. Stay here, okay? I'll be back. We'll talk soon, he assured her, then left the admin office. Lisa was left with Alvin, who guided her to a private room so she could rest. She was still in a daze, reeling from the revelation about Mr. Rodney's true identity. "Sir Alvin, you knew everything all along. Why didn't you tell me?" she asked, once they were both seated on a plush sofa. "Mr. Rodrigo didn't want anyone else to know. It made it easier for us to carry out our plan. He also didn't want you to get caught in the crossfire," Alvin explained. "When did you find out Jim was behind all this?" Lisa asked. "A friend of mine is an interior designer who recognized the room from a video posted online. We initially thought it was foreigners, but recently discovered it was Jim and Jesse. We didn't want to alarm anyone until we had proof." "Sorry for surprising you like this. I only followed Mr. Rodrigo's wishes," Alvin said apologetically. "It's all right. I just feel embarrassed now because I treated Mr. Rodrigo like a friend, calling him Mr. Rodney." "There's nothing wrong with that. You had no idea, so he understands. Besides, you really are friends. He likes you a lot for your kindness," Alvin said. Lisa paused, remembering her grandmother's hospital bill. A hunch crossed her mind. "Wait a minute. Do you have something to do with my grandma's hospital fees?" she asked. Alvin grinned widely and nodded. "Yes. Mr. Rodrigo was the one who paid for your grandmother's operation. You see, you were the first person to show him genuine kindness. He admires people like you," Alvin revealed. "Oh my God, this is so embarrassing," Lisa murmured, covering her face. "Don't be. You deserve it. As I said, you're a good person who should be blessed, unlike Jesse and Trina," Alvin added. Lisa just sighed and laughed at how events had unfolded. Shortly afterward, Mr. Rodney returned, and the three of them talked for about an hour. He was delighted they had finally solved the problem at Riverdale Hotel. "Miss, I'll have someone drive you home. It's late," Mr. Rodney offered. "Oh, no thanks. I can just ride the bus with my co-workers. I feel bad if I keep taking favors," Lisa said, chuckling. Mr. Rodney and Alvin let her go, reminding her to call them if she needed anything. "Stop by my office tomorrow, Lisa. There's something I need to tell you," Mr. Rodney said. "All right, sir. Thank you both for everything," she said, leaving the admin office around 11 at night. She wished she'd accepted their offer for a ride because there were few buses at this hour, and any that came by were usually full. She decided to walk to the next intersection, where more buses sometimes stopped. But as she was walking, someone emerged from the shadows, a woman's silhouette beneath a street lamp. Lisa recognized the voice instantly. It was Jesse, still in handcuffs, but somehow holding a knife. "What, did you think you'd live happily ever after, Lisa? You're crazy if you believe that. As long as I'm alive, I'll never let you be happy," Jesse hissed, her voice dripping with hatred. Her eyes burned with murderous intent. "You've been arrested. How are you even here? Don't come any closer," Lisa shouted. "Oh, are you that stupid? I escaped, obviously. Now that I'm here, I'll make sure your next wake-up call is in heaven," Jesse snarled, lunging toward Lisa. Just then, a gunshot rang out. It was the police firing a warning shot. Officers rushed forward, pulling Lisa behind them and surrounding Jesse. The furious woman had no choice but to surrender. She looked as though she'd tear Lisa apart if given the chance. But Lisa breathed a sigh of relief. If the police hadn't shown up, she might truly be gone by now. Despite everything, Lisa made it home that night feeling surprisingly light-hearted. Her relief far outweighed the terror. The next morning, she arrived at work early and went straight to Mr. Rodney's office. She was amazed to see him dressed in a sharp suit, looking quite distinguished even at his age. "Wow, I'm not used to seeing you like this," Lisa said, momentarily forgetting to be formal around the hotel's owner. "Oh, sorry, sir. I'm just used to calling you Mr. Rodney, not Mr. Rodrigo." "Call me whatever you like. Think of me as a friend," he said warmly. "Are you sure about that, sir?" All right then, Lisa joked. Anyway, the reason I asked you here is because I have something to tell you. His face grew serious, making Lisa a bit nervous. Did I do something wrong? She asked. You did something right, which is why I'm promoting you. You'll take over Jim's position. You're now a manager, because I believe you deserve that role, Mr. Rodney announced. Lisa burst into tears of joy. She never expected to be promoted so soon. She even hugged the older man. Thank you so much. This is a huge help to me and my family, she said gratefully. You deserve it, Lisa, Mr. Rodney replied. With her new position, Lisa's life took a brighter turn. Not only did her salary increase, but her confidence soared. She was beyond thankful. She constantly gave thanks to God for how everything turned out. If not for her faith, she might have given up long ago. Hey, congratulations! You're our most effective manager of the month, Alvin said one morning as they rode the elevator together. Thank you, sir. I couldn't have done it without your advice, Lisa replied. They smiled at each other, and this time, Lisa didn't bother hiding it. Shortly afterward, Lisa went to the admin office to receive her certificate. Even though it was just a simple piece of paper, she considered it the start of her personal growth. Every day she thanked the heavens for guiding her. If it weren't for holding on to her faith, she might have let go a long time ago. The end.